people you may think. It's more like sketching when it comes to it. So 3.1, let's go back to quadratics. So quadratic functions and models. Okay, so a few concepts you want to deal with is we're not going to be doing as detailed as we did last time, the 3 points and, translations. We actually only care about one very special point, and that's called, the vertex. And then we'll talk about what that vertex is, but that's a single point. We'll move up and down on the parabola itself, okay? So this point right here is what the vertex we care about. That's the only point we care about in this section, is where that point is moving, and now is the parabola going up or down? That's it, okay? Now, the parabola is going up if the value of A is positive, meaning the very first number is positive. It's going down if the value of A is negative. That's all you really need to know. So I can always think of it as if it's positive, smiley face up, negative, sad face, right? That's the easiest way you could think of that, right? So positive, smiley face, negative, sad face, because you're sad, right? I know it's cheesy, but anything that can help you memorize what to do when it comes to it. Okay, and the next thing we're going to talk about is something called the axis of symmetry. Okay, so the axis of symmetry is the line that passes through the vertex, and it literally cuts the graph in half. So you notice like this line cuts it exactly in half, and that line is always going to be equal x equals k. All right. Now the question is, how do we find those values? Well, remember back in the day we had h comma k. Well, guess what? That comes back into play here as well. But now we're going to figure out, how do you find the h and k when we're not given to it, in already in vertex form? So to do that, we're going to use something called the Vertex Formula, which is right here. So given this this quadratic, the vertex is, this is your h and this is your k right here, if you want to think of it. To find the h, it's going to be minus the middle term divided by 2a. So that's going to be that one. To find the k value, we're going to plug this value into here and see what we get out. So it's a little bit more work, when it comes to it. So you may need a calculator for sure for some of these, because there might be some fractions dealing with and things like this. But that's how we're going to do it. And then once we do that, we're going to plot that point, and you're literally going to go up or down depending on what we want explicitly. Okay. So let's try an example so you can see how this is going to work out. Okay. All right, so for each one, we're going to find the vertex, axis of symmetry, and then graph it. Okay. So we're going to write our 3 letters we have here according to our equation. So A is the number in front, so that's just a 1. B is -2, and C is -3. Now we don't really need C, but it's just good just to write those down anyways, right? Just like the quadratic formula. And now let's find our H term. So the H term is minus B, so minus a -2 divided by 2 times 1. And now we just simplify. So this is positive 2 over 2, which ends up being 1. All right, so in our vertex, we have 1 comma something, right? Now to find the k value, we're going to plug in 1 back into our function. So now we got to figure out what is f of 1. So let's plug it in. So it'll be 1 squared minus 2 times 1 minus 3. So this is 1 minus 2 minus 3, which should give you, was that -4? Yeah, -4. So therefore, our vertex is the point 1 comma -4. So again, this is the k value. All right, so we have this. So we're just going to plot this point. So if you go over here, that's 1, -4. Okay, now I got to see if it's going up or down. And A is positive, so therefore it's going to go up. So here, just make it go up, just like that. Okay. And then lastly, we want to find our axis of symmetry. So axis of symmetry is always x equals k, and you have to write it as that, right? X equals, so it's a line, it's a vertical line, right? So vertical lines is always x equals. So in this case, x equals, wait, x equals 1. Wait. Oh no, this is wrong. X equals h. What am I thinking here? So it's x equals h. Yeah, x equals h. X equals 1. There we go, because it passes through here. Yeah, so just do a little note here is x equals h. Here. So it's the x value. Yeah, that makes sense. And that's it. That's all we're graphing. There's no need to do anything else. I don't mind how big you do it. You just, tell it's going up or going down. I'm happy with that. Any questions on our first example? No, not too bad. Okay, let's try the next one. All right, so same thing. Let's do A, B, and C. So this time now we have -2, 4, and 1. So to find our h, it's going to be -4 over 2 times -2. We simplify, so -4 over -4. So it ends up being 1 again. So we know it's going to be 1 comma something. And now we plug in 1 again, back to our function. Like that. Okay. So we get -2 plus 4 plus 1. And that should give you, I think, +3. There we go. So here is our vertex. So 1 up 3. And this is a negative, so it's going to go down. And then our axis of symmetry is x equals 1 as well. And there you go. Questions there? Okay, so far so good. All right. So in that case, go ahead and find your vertex here. Go for it. Give you guys another minute. All right, good. So it looks like everybody was able to get it. So 1, 6, and 9. So our h is going to be negative 6 over 2 times 1. So that gives you just negative 3. So good. And then we just plug in negative 3 into here. So it's 9 minus 18 plus, and that gives you 0. There we go. So negative 3, 0. I think it's right here. Yeah. Axis of symmetry is x equals negative 3. And it goes up because it's positive. So it looks like that. And voila. So any questions on how to graph parabolas? Because, you know, it's kind of a parabola. And that's it. We don't have to, we're not doing any transformations for now. We're just, you know, moving one point and going up or down. And just learn a new process of axis symmetry. So probably a little easier than what you guys had for your exam. Okay. So any questions to finish up this section? It's a very, very short section.